Everybody, I'm Tim Bulott. Welcome to Status Check for August 2024 here at weaponsacademy.com. And I believe this is now the third month that we've run our status check on Patreon, and it's been popular. It's going to be unscripted, uncut, and we're just going to talk about what's going on. And at times, you know, we'll have the guys on the program with us. Got a lot on the plate today. First off, we're going to expand status check, okay? So I'm going to start running this across all channels. So it's going to be focused on Patreon because I want you guys there. That's where we have our best content, our best videos is on Patreon. At this time, we have over 40 instructional videos on Patreon, and it's growing, okay? So we'll talk about that in a minute, but we're going to run this on YouTube, of course, Facebook, and then I'll probably even run it on my Rumble channel also. And on YouTube, I'm going to run it on Weapons Academy and on Adventure Backcountry, because this is where we bring everything together. Tactical and firearms training, martial arts, fitness, outdoor adventures, and it's all done with movie making and film making, video making, which has been a love of mine since the late 80s, early 90s, way before anybody ever imagined that that video and filmmaking would be where it is today with all these platforms to upload your material. So anyway, let's get into it. We've got a lot to talk about. First thing I want to bring up, the Lost 48 Browns. So we dug up all of this old video footage. When I say old video footage, I'm not talking about VHS stuff. It was all recorded with professional gear back in the 90s, but we put a lot of work and time into recording and documenting the brown belt techniques. And so I just completed the third re-edit of the brown belt series. That's kind of a series within the Adventures in American Kempo series, okay? And we've got the third re-edit of the Lost 48 rounds, and here, this is a Blu-ray, okay? Contains more lost video footage, okay, recently discovered. So this was shot at 3 different schools of mine throughout the 90s, and then some of it was shot even today to kind of bring it all together. And we spent a lot of time and effort into re-editing all this, recapturing all that video footage, because it's a process going from a tape format to a digital format. Everything's got to be converted, and then the aspect ratio is different. We left that the way that it is because it encompasses really good, and then it has to be upscaled to high definition, and that way it can be placed on the Blu-ray or streamed out in HD. Okay, so you can get this on our website at bulottmedia.com. Also, for the Patreon paid members, I have short versions for the basic membership of third and then the second degree is coming up, and then we have the full videos. Now the third degree brown belt, for instance, is 1 hour and 45 minutes, so we had to break that into 2 videos, okay? And the the second degree brown belt's probably going to be the same way, so that's in the works also, and that'll be all for the advanced members on Patreon. You basic guys, you'll get a shorter version of it with some of the techniques and still some material, but the advanced members are going to get the full videos with the forms, the sets, everything that's in there. And I mean, this stuff was shot all over the place. We shot some out at the Grand Canyon. We shot out in the Mojave Desert and Lake Mead National Recreation Area. And there's some seminar footage in here from Mark Rating School, and it's all captured professionally. And it really gets into the details of that of that brown belt material. But if you want the best possible solution, get the 2 Blu-ray set, okay? It just looks best on Blu-ray, and I know that watching on disc media has become a thing of the past for a lot of people, but it's actually kind of making a comeback. A lot of people are going back and dusting off their DVDs and in their Blu-rays and their Blu-ray player, because it's yours. Once you have it in your hand. It's yours. Kempo's made to be watched on the big screen anyway. You can scroll through it with your remote control, stop, start, restart. So much easier with the Blu-ray. We are so proud of the way that this 2 Blu-ray set came out. Okay, we're going to do a giveaway. All right, so I'm going to give away 2 of these sets. So listen up here. So this is important. So this is only going to be available to the paid members of Patreon. Doesn't matter if you're a basic member or if you're an advanced member. If you are interested in possibly receiving a free 2 Blu-ray disc set of the Lost 48 Browns, leave me a message in the comments below on Patreon. Okay? And for the next month's status check, we will have a drawing right here with you guys, and we'll select those 2 winners, and I'll get in contact with you and send those out. So I'll put more information about this down in the description, but we're going to give away 2 sets of the Lost 48 Brown, the 2 Blu-ray disc set, and it looks like it was shot yesterday. I'm really, really pleased with it. And if you're studying Kempo or any kind of self-defense, there's 48 techniques in there, plus the forms and sets. So there's a lot of good information in there. So let me set that off to the side. Okay, so we've got that going on. Now, while we're still talking about training videos, let me bring up the handgun progressions again, because they're in the works. The rain put us back on our filming schedule in the spring when we were slated to do that, and now it's just so hot out, it's not going to happen to the fall. I know I've been saying I'm going to get these things done. There's going to be nothing like it out there for the Patreon crowd, at least. But I got to have cooler weather yet to film. It's just we tried to do some work back there the other day, and it's just too hot. The cameras don't even like this hot weather, so we've got to have some cooler weather, but it will get done this fall. So yeah, be patient with us on that. Okay, so we've got the course schedule is being uploaded now. We should have it for the next week at Weapons Academy. Mulaney should have that up. We'll have our complete fall schedule and our winter schedule going into next year. The big new class that we have coming up is Advanced SWAT and Tactical Team Leader in October. It is completely sold out with a waiting list, so we're going to be putting another one of those up for the winter, maybe February. We like doing those in the cold weather. That's a completely new course. I'm finishing up the writing the course right now. 4 days, 48 hours for law enforcement officers and security contractors. It is going to be packed full of high-level tactical information and training, and a lot of leadership. I've got basically 2 heavy leadership modules in there, and then the whole course is designed toward preparation, planning, leading, and execution of various types of operations: a barricaded person, high threat warrant, hostage rescue. So we've got that coming up. Basic SWAT is in September. It is sold out with a waiting list also. That's going to be an awesome class. We've got agencies from all over the state coming in for that. We've got Progression 2 of Rifle on there. Terry just finished up with an awesome 2-day tactical medical weekend, okay, an applied skills session, and as well. So we're looking to put another one of those up. And then for you civilian shooters and trainers, and especially those of y'all that are involved in security in some form or fashion, towards the end of October, we have our 3-day tactical response to active shooter coming up. Which is that is the coup de grace for civilian tactical training right there, because it combines TACMED with CQB and a lot of theory on active shooter, theory and history on active shooter. It's basically kind of designed to make you a certified subject matter expert in that area with the skills to back it up. So do take a look at that course if you're serious in taking your firearms and tactical training to the ultimate level. We do require that you have a license to carry for that, or that you are a security contractor of some sort. And we've really geared that towards corporate, school and church security, and individuals that would have to respond, because it's based on 2- and 3-person response. So take a good look at that as well. There'll be a lot of shoot house courses coming up, as well as more pistol, rifle, and shotgun, vehicle tactics, knife, weapons retentions. All those are in the process of being organized and uploading. The reason there's a slight delay on that is kind of because of what I have laid out in front of me right now, and where we're going with this. And that is El Negocio II Extraction Point, or at least that's the working title for right now. So our writer Cliff has been really hard at work on this project, getting the script finalized. But we're in a position, as far as the script and the screenplay is concerned, where we can go ahead and start with our pilot. Now, what our pilot is basically going to be a 7 to 8 minute short that kind of promotes and leads into the film itself, and we're going to use that pilot to grow interest and to get you motivated to help us out with that. And then those scenes can and may be converted into the movie scenes as well. So for all practical purposes, we are leaving, Elaine and I are leaving next week to head out west to shoot the opening scenes of the film, okay? And that's why I have all this out in front of us, and we'll talk about that for us movie buffs, okay? The opening scene is basically going to consist of some establishing shots, which are going to be, they're going to be landscape shots, and a dialogue, okay, a series of dialogue shots, just involving one person, the main protagonist in the movie, which is me, having a conversation with an individual on the other end. So we're going to shoot his half of that conversation, and along with the opening and establishing shots, which there's going to be some good stuff in there. So, a little coffee there. It's early. We've got 4 locations we're going to scout and hopefully shoot this. And I'll probably shoot it at all 4 or within an area of all 4 of these locations, and then I'll pick the best when I get back. But because we're doing this ourselves and it is an independent film, we have a little bit more luxury with that. We're going out west for this. I'm not going to say exactly where, because I don't want to give that away. And it's going to be, as the word of the day is, it's going to be epic. Okay, so we'll probably shoot this scene 4 times over the next 10 days or so while we're out there, and I'll pick the best location when I get back. Now, because we're only going to be a 2-person crew, I mean, we're going to have to do this one kind of on the fly, so to speak. This is going to be, guerrilla filmmaking here for sure. So I'm kind of got my kit laid out here that I'm gonna use for these primary scenes, and I'm just gonna go through this with y'all so you can kind of see what I'm gonna be using on this. So the majority of the film we're gonna shoot, we're gonna shoot it back here, and we'll be using the large DVX with the Adamus Ninja. Those cinema setups that I showed you, if you want to see that video with that setup, I've got it up here. Just scroll back through Patreon and you'll find it. But because we're going kind of lightweight out west, I'm going to run with the Panasonic GH6 on this one here. So I've got it set up in kind of a cinema format here. Because the scenes are short, I don't have to put the battery pack on here. We're going to do a combination of tripod and handheld. The stabilization in this particular camera is excellent. And for audio, we're going to be using some of these mini shotgun mics. Now, actually have this one on this camera, okay, is running into this Rode transmitter here, and it's transmitting to your camera that you're seeing me on. So I'm capturing the audio on this camera and transmitting it to that camera just to kind of test this system. So because we're not going to have a sound person with us, we're going to have to record into the camera, which is fine. This GH6 has 4 channels of audio, and then we'll be able to place these microphones where we need them, or when we're doing a a tripod stand. I'm going to bring some of these mini booms with us, so you know, Milena will be able to operate the camera and extend the boom and do both. But this is it's only a dialogue scene, so everything is packed in really close. You might hear me slip some Spanish words in there. We just came off a 4-day hostage rescue class with Tees, and I was teaching alongside Alan Brosnan. Alan was a primary, I was a secondary, but everything had to be translated into Spanish. We were working with the state police, and I'm in Spanish mode, so you might hear a Spanish word slip in there from time to time. So anyway, getting back to this, so we've got to condense this into a nice compact kit and so forth. So here's kind of what we've got. Of course, we've got all of our lens cleaning materials and so forth, and I've got the ND filters. All right, I got a UV 2-stop, 4-stop, 8-stop filters. I'll be bringing those along with us. And so forth. For lighting, I've got a couple of fold-out reflectors if we need them. But just in case, I'm going to bring 3 of these little portable lights here that we can kind of snug into different places and give us a little punch here and there. They're adjustable. This one's weak. It kind of needs to be recharged. They're adjustable. They throw just enough light out to where, you know, if I use them in a vehicle or whatever, I can put a little bit of light into an area, and I can raise and lower the intensity, and they pack neatly into my camera bag all the same here in these little side pockets. Okay, so we go through this, all right, and then I've got 50mm prime lens. All right, I don't know if I'm going to use it yet or not, but to give a kind of a movie look, the prime lenses are real good, so we're going to take that along, changing lenses and so forth. I don't need a battery pack, an external battery pack on this, because it's just dialogue and it's going to be pretty short. So I've got you know, just some extra batteries for the GH6, and we try to keep everything that's USB chargeable, because in the Rubicon, which will be featured in the scene also, little hint there, we can charge everything. Chargers and everything can all be done with USB cables, and that makes everything nice and convenient. Okay, good fluid head tripod, really important that you have that. And then, like I said, our audio, we'll have our we're gonna bring a couple of these mini Rode style shotgun mics with the Rode transmitter, so we can move them around. That'll eliminate us from having to use a cable, if I like the way that these tests sound that we're going to do. And then lastly is the beast itself, is the GH6 by Panasonic, by Lumix. Excellent camera, micro Four Thirds sensor. It's got great stabilization in it, and so forth. Autofocus, fairly good, but we use manual focus anyway. So it's got a lot of recording formats. Of course, this is going to be on a 24p at DCI Digital Cinema Initiative format. I think it's 17:9, and we'll be shooting in ProRes, and it can record all of that internal. So for these scenes, I do not need to bring the external recorders, because I can get great. This thing takes those giant CF Express cards, so I can record high quality ProRes footage directly in the camera. Now we're going to try to get y'all some behind the scenes. It's going to be a little difficult on this one, because we're going to kind of track this project behind the scenes on Patreon, so our paid members can see that, and hopefully we'll drive some of you. We'll give little pieces of that out also on the other platforms, but no promises on that, because we're just a 2-person crew. That'll be kind of hard to capture behind the scenes, but we're going to do our best. Okay, so we'll let you know when we get back if we were able to do that. So anyway, that's going to be about it for the August status check. Remember, we're going to give away 2 of these, the two disc set, Lost 48 Browns. If you're interested in being selected for that, we'll have a drawing. Leave your information. You don't have to leave your information. Just leave me a message in the comments below, or you can message me direct, but preferably in the comments below in Patreon, because it leaves it all open. And in September status check, we'll draw, and I'll send 2 of these out. And so forth. So anyway, always good to hear from y'all. Questions, comments, leave them below. We'll address them on the show. This has been August 2024 Status Check here at weaponsacademy.com. Y'all stay safe. And we'll be in touch, and we'll see you on the next one.